What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and today I'm going to be exploring a neighborhood that I explored a couple of years ago, but I'm doing like an update video, which is Tribeca, and it's pretty much known for its old industrial buildings, but it developed the area and then it has a lot of like hipster vibes, beautiful cobblestones and architecture. So without further ado, I'm going to take you guys with me, so join me. Just over here, this is the borderline of the World Trade Center area, but literally when I'm walking over here, this is the beginning of Tribeca over here, which is a really cool neighborhood, and there's a lot of beautiful streets to see. They also got a couple of plazas like this one over here and a park happening. Also, I think one of the most iconic buildings is 56 Lennard Street, also known as the Jenga building, which is right there. But let's go deeper into the neighborhood to see what's going on. It's a beautiful day out here today. Spring is around the corner, so let's check out to see what the neighborhood has to offer. So I'm walking towards West Broadway, and I'm gonna walk it straight ahead where there is like a plaza ahead of me, and you're gonna see a little bit of the cool vibes. So it's also served by West Broadway, Church Street, and it goes all the way to Canal Street, where they have Chinatown and Little Italy. So also they got a waterfront where you can see the Hudson River. So, you know, it's a really cool neighborhood. And another cool thing is that they have a couple of celebrities that live around here, you know. But yeah, we're gonna find out and see what's going on and check out the beautiful architecture of this neighborhood, which is pretty lovely right here in the lower part of Manhattan. But here you can see they got the old architecture like the Art Deco, but then they're developing like high-rise buildings over here. World Trade Center is actually over that way, if you go that way. So, you know, it literally borders out a couple of neighborhoods. And then you can see the iconic Jenga building, which they opened something in the bottom, which is the beam, kind of resembles a little bit of the Cloud Gate area in Chicago. We're gonna see that in a bit, but let me explore around here and show you some of the architectures that's happening around here in Tribeca. So before I head over that way, I'm gonna make a detour in some of the streets here to show you the architecture that's happening. See the streets that's going on over here, which is beautiful. So some of the streets, they kind of resemble a little bit like the Soho district. But then you walk here ahead of me, I'll show you what's going on. Got this apartment complex over here. They're not cheap, but I like, you know, if you know a little bit about me, you know I like a lot architecture. And also they got a couple of restaurants here. One thing that I want to show you guys, they got like a bike lane over here that I'm standing. Even though a lot of people I don't see it use it, but you know, it helps out with the neighborhood. So this over here is probably mostly like the old area, but if you go by the waterfront, they got like the modern architecture I'm gonna show you guys in a bit. So here you can see what I'm talking about. They got this super tall skyscraper at the end, which it would take you to Brookfield Place. And you can see the street that's going on. Ahead of me should be the little plaza. And this is Chambers Street, and you can see the subway line 1, 2, and 3 train over here. So it's pretty much like a little chill neighborhood over here. But you can see what I'm talking about, the subway station. Then we got this beautiful building here that they're developing. It kind of looks like the Flatiron building. And then they got a scaffolding, which is pretty normal when you see it all over New York City. And this will take you all the way to the end. That's like another vibe over there, but then this is like the little square that's happening. Cars are literally blocking my view. This little square that's happening over here with a Jenga building in the background. So it's getting a little chilly, but behind me, you can see it's a little plaza that I'm gonna walk around. Then they got the clock. I don't know, I just have a little thing for this clock that you see around different neighborhoods. But now let's go walk through the little plaza to show you guys what's going on. Here you can see they developed this area. This was not here. It used to be the plaza, but they didn't develop like this. So they got like a little shop here where you can get some bites and snacks. And you can just sit here and chill, you know, when the weather gets even nicer. You can just enjoy your time. Once I pass this area, it's like the beautiful architecture. But I'm gonna detour in some of the streets that will take me near the City Hall to show you what the streets look like, which is beautiful. I'm just gonna walk forward to show you guys what's going on. I'm gonna make it a Church Street, then detour another regular street to show you what it looks like. So you have an idea what the architecture is. And then over here, this is a pretty interesting street right here. Pretty wide and open. Then you got the 56 Lennard Street. I got like 5 seconds across the street. I gotta tell you, New York City is always a vibe no matter what. And the weather, when it's sunny, it just gives you like a different type of view. And over here, this is one of those tiny streets that you'll see in Tribeca, which is pretty nice. It kind of resembles a little bit of the Soho district. You know, like pretty wild. A lot of people, they can hang out here and take pictures with some of the architecture that's going on here. Look at this one over here, that's pretty nice. I think if I cross the street, it'll be a better view. So I think that's literally what I'm about to do. Let me just cross the other side to show you guys what's going on, so you can get a better view of this beautiful street right here. And here you got the architecture. And here you got the architecture. It's pretty nice, you know. I think they can touch a little bit the building so it could be nicer, but it's still pretty cool. Now let's do one block of Church Street, make it right, and another right to show you the other block. Then we're gonna start making it where the beautiful architecture is, where the reddish brown color of the building is, that I think it makes this neighborhood pretty unique. So this is Church Street right here, and it's a pretty wide street, and if you walk all the way towards the end, it'll take you to the World Trade Center. Then you got the bike lane here. And the good news is I literally just fits my bike, so I'm looking forward to making bike videos in this nice weather over here. So here, this is one thing that's traditional in New York City. They got the scaffolding. A lot of shops here, but you can't really admire what's going on over here. There are a couple of pizzerias that I used to go before when I used to hang out around this neighborhood. This is actually Chambers Street, which is the street that will take you straight towards the City Hall of New York City. And it's pretty cool, but I think once I go ahead, it's gonna be even nicer because I see a beautiful Art Deco building ahead. That looks really cool, but look, even over here underneath of the shops, you got the details of the buildings. But yeah, you know, really good vibes over here. So here you see the beautiful Art Deco, and over there is the Freedom Tower and World Trade Center with the sun hitting it on top. So I think it gives it like a really nice vibe, you know. But now let's start making it into the nicer areas of Tribeca. We're gonna walk in one of the smallest streets in the city, which is called Staple Street. And it has like a little sky bridge that passes on top. And a lot of people, they be taking pictures over there, so stay tuned for that. Like I said, it's a lovely day. And a lot of things that they have over here is a traditional city bike. So a lot of people tell me these are the good ones. This over here, because it's like the electric ones. But you can see all of the city bikes lined up over here. So like I said, one day, like I never rode it, but one day I'll probably just make a video, like a video review, showing you how the city bike works. There's like another little park over there. So let me just cross the street and start showing you a little bit of some historic sites right here in Tribeca. So this area that I'm standing is pretty interesting because of the views that you can get. Like on one side, if I show you what's going on ahead of me, you can practice your Instagram pictures over here of 56 Lennard Street, you know, with the beautiful architecture. Then if you look towards that way too, you see some of the high-rise buildings from the financial district surrounded by the old reddish architecture over here. So, you know, this is one thing that is pretty unique when you're in Tribeca, you know. Like I said, it's a really lovely neighborhood right in the heart of downtown. And I'm gonna show you this other plaza over here and try showing you, you know, what else the neighborhood has to offer. Then we're gonna try to make it to where they got the cobblestones so you can see the beautiful scenery that's going on. And they got a local park here called Wayne Park. Like I said, many neighborhoods in New York City. They got tons of little parks. And they got the beautiful flowers here because we're in the middle of the spring season. Then I think this over here should be Staple Street, which is one of the smallest streets in New York City. Pretty tiny, you know. So now I'm walking towards Staple Street, and it looks pretty much more like an alleyway, which I'm gonna show you ahead. So we got over here tiny, the most attraction is over there ahead. But then look how the street used to be. You see it all like this, but then over here they got a couple of cobblestones. So it proves you how the street used to be back in the days. Kind of reminds me of old San Juan and PR in Puerto Rico. And then the iconic place is over there ahead, where they got a little bridge that connects those two buildings together that I'm gonna show you guys in a little bit. Before we make it towards the area, this is a beautiful street here that still maintains its cobblestones. Goes all the way towards the end. And they got the high-rise buildings over here. It kind of resembles a little bit of meatpacking district. A little bit of similarities going on. Yeah, this is the iconic right here with the little bridge that connects these two buildings. Kind of resembles a little bit like if you're in Europe. And once I make it towards the other side, it's gonna be beautiful too, with beautiful architecture. And I think if you're staying at that side, you could get a really nice shot of 56 Lennard Street, or how a lot of people like to call it here in New York, the Jenga building. So I'm gonna show you guys in a little bit, just to give you an insight of how old these buildings are. Like this building over here says 1872, which until it's changed. So That's how old the building is. You know, I guess it keeps the traditional architecture over there then. Even over here, they got the cobblestones. So I'll give you like a 360 view, and if you go all the way towards the end, there's the high-rise buildings over there. So pretty beautiful. So this area here is kind of close to the water, and it's like a mixture of vibes over here. Because over here, I got this building over here that makes you feel like if you're somewhere in Europe, but then in the background, it's like the high-rise buildings and the modern architecture. So Hudson River is ahead of me, but we're probably gonna walk towards that area later, still trying to go deep into the neighborhood. So I'm gonna make it over the other side and start walking towards Lennard Street and make it towards the Jenga building. Then we're gonna make it to another part of Tribeca. And then here you can see what I'm talking about. Got the cobblestones and the beautiful architecture. Then here's beautiful too, and they got this little plaza here, you know, with the high-rise buildings, which is pretty spacious. I guess over here it feels a little bit cooler because we're really close to the water. And then just look at this buildings. This one, they could do a little bit of renovations here to make it look nicer. And then if you go over that way, you get some nice shots of the skyscraper. Maybe got a restaurant here, Benvenuto Cafe. Not sure if it's like a diner or something like that, but it says it's 24/7, so they got breakfast all day. It's actually a diner. One thing that I forgot to mention here in Tribeca, I noticed there are a couple of diners around. You know, a lot of people I know they're curious to know New York City has diners, and they do have diners. You just gotta know where to search around. They have them here. They got in some parts of Brooklyn and Queens too, but the state that has the most diners, it's New Jersey. I know because I lived there, and I used to live in the suburbs back in the days, and I would drive around and see a diner in every town. So there's still cobblestones right here in this street. And then the beautiful architecture over here. They're renovating another building. I like how they preserved them. It's gorgeous. So now I'm walking around Lennard Street, and even though I've been around the area where they got the building, I never walk around this part over here, and it looks pretty nice, you know. And some of the architecture, they look pretty cool, and they got the cobblestones. I'm gonna show you guys in a bit. Over here you see the streets with the cobblestones. Then look at some of this building, the Juilliard building. I like the design, the way how it looks. It looks pretty nice, you know. Gotta tell you, New York City never ceases to amaze me, even though it's been almost 14 years since I've been around here. It's like every day I come, I explore something new, you know. You can spend a long time trying to discover every single street in the city. So, I mean, anybody gets bored of this city, it's because they want to be bored. There's always something to do, something going on in this amazing city, no matter what weather, what time of the year it is. So, you know, it's pretty awesome over here. So, ahead of me, we got the Cloud Gates New York City version. I see a lot of people ahead there taking pictures, but it's underneath 56 Lennard Street. Let me see if I can show you the camera. That's a little beam they got there. And it's literally like a little bit smashed with the building. You can see how the building goes all the way up there. Pretty up high. It's like you could take a little piece of the skyscraper. I'm gonna show you guys right here. The little beam of New York City version. Actually knock it, it's like literally glass right here. So I think if I go on the other side, you could get like a better angle of this beam. You can see what I look like. You can see what I'm talking about. You got all the people out here taking a picture of this famous beam right here. That's really cool. Let's take a little vlog selfie of the beam right there behind me for all the people in the building. Gotta get that shot and pretend like you're like a little tourist right here in New York City. But now let's make it down towards Varick Street. There's like a little hidden gem where there's like a little circle and a little bridge. It's really close to the entrance of the Holland Tunnel. And I think if you go over that overpassage of the bridge, you're gonna get like a nice shot, you know, of the Freedom Tower in some parts of New York City. It's literally bordering with Canal Street, so I'm gonna show you guys that little hidden spot. There's also like another little hidden gem here that I wanna show you. I walk here many times at nighttime, and it's actually beautiful. It's right here by Franklin Street. And it's like a little tiny plaza. I think ahead of me is like a hotel, but I'm gonna show you guys. So this is another little diner. It looks pretty small, but it has like that old school vibe in the inside. So like tiny and stuff. What's the name of this place called? Square Diner. I walked by it many times, so maybe one day I'll go in and try the food. So I got a twist. There's some other place, but this is a nice area over here. And I even like the entrance of the subway train. The way out of the building is this kind of reminds me a little bit of the neighborhood in Seattle, Washington, Pioneer Square. That it has like structures of buildings just like that. Not sure what's going on here because I see a lot of cops passing by, but yeah. And then it's surrounded by beautiful architecture around here. So Canal Street is literally like a block or two away from me. I can see how busy it is, but I want to show you the little hidden gem over here. I see a lot of police activity passing by, so hopefully it's not shut down where I want to show you guys, but I discovered there's another alleyway over here that's pretty small. Even got its cobblestones, man. I'm gonna go through that alleyway and then go around like in squares to show you what's going on. You can see how the traffic is coming. I guess it's people are coming from the Holland Tunnel from Jersey City, and then they're trying to make it over here. Or they're trying to go into the Holland Tunnel, because I think it goes like around and then you go underneath the water. That's how the tunnel takes you around. So this is the little alleyway surrounded by the cobblestones. I don't think I've ever seen this. And looking at this alleyway like this small, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Chicago, Illinois. You know, it's a big city, but one thing that's different from Chicago and New York City is that they got like small alleyways like this, and then in those alleyways they put out the garbage. And that's why when you walk around there, you see the streets like pretty impeccable. Not like here in New York City that they take the garbage around and they put it out in the curve, and that attracts the rats and all of that. But that's something that's really different. But keep in mind that Chicago had a huge fire, and that's what caused them to develop. That's what caused them to develop a brand new city, you know. And it's pretty much, you know, well developed. This is a really old city here in New York City. And you can see they got the alleyways like this. Then it takes you to the end. I think that's like kind of like the borderline of Canal Street. Then over here's where it gets really crazy. Like Canal Street is literally like right behind me. You can see all the traffic jam that's happening over here. Then at the other side is another neighborhood. So a lot of neighborhoods are connected over here, and then you could catch the A, C, and E train right here by Canal Street. Now let me walk ahead of me so I can show you guys a little park and like a little bridge that crosses over the highway. You can get some pretty interesting shots of the city. It's like a little hidden gem. I discovered it when I've been doing a lot of live streams, so I decided to walk it around. So this is it over here, the overpassage. Not much going on, but I think once you make it towards the end, you can see the sunlight over here. And it passes over the highway that would take you by Canal Street, you know. I'm just crossing the bridge. You can start seeing the scenery behind me. Like I said, a little hidden gem. There's nothing in the park. It looks like literally all stones, but it seems like they're gonna be developing the area a little bit. I'll show you what's going on ahead of me. The bridge over here that will take you to the other side. And for some reason, I'm always fascinated by bridges. I don't know why. This is what I'm talking about. You see the 56 Lennard building, AKA Jenga building, and the Freedom Tower over there. And if you cross over here, you get the view of the cobblestones. This over here also looks like the meatpacking district. And the busy road that will take you right to Holland Tunnel, and it takes you all the way to New Jersey and more of the lower part of Manhattan. But I'm just gonna make it all the way towards the end, close to where the Hudson River is, so I can show you guys a little bit what's going on over here. But even over here, it looks pretty interesting, you know, even though there's not really much activity of people, but maybe in the future they'll develop this area a little bit more. So here you can see what's going on. They got the cobblestones, of course they got the city bikes, and they got like this beautiful architecture that's happening over here. So, but I'm gonna make it all the way towards the end because I've seen some pretty interesting things happening. Then it keeps going over here. It seems like this area was probably the industrial area. The way out the buildings are designed with the little windows. But I think it's pretty interesting to look at. And this street is called Collister, and it's in a brownish color. That's when you know it's an historic district. It got the cobblestones. Let me take a look at this little alleyway over here. Oh, I gotta tell you, this area is pretty beautiful. Yeah, look at the cobblestones, pretty nice. Then ahead of me is Lennard Street, which will take you all the way closer to the World Trade Center. And it's pretty nice over here. Actually, I'm discovering some pretty interesting things that I want to show you guys. As you can see, they got like the modern cobblestones combined with the original ones. And then you see how they develop this nice looking buildings over here to make it like pretty nice with the brownish buildings. But yeah, this It says Port Warehouse, so this used to be like the industrial section of Tribeca right here. So. So I tell you, this is literally filled out with former warehouses, but you can see how they develop all the buildings over here. Pretty beautiful. And then over here, the ones to my left side is gorgeous too. Then I'll show you ahead of me, they got more. So this is like a hidden gem in the middle of Tribeca. A lot of people think it's mostly about fancy and all of that over here. There's also a lot of history going on and a lot of beautiful architecture going on here, even though it's a tiny neighborhood, but there is a lot to see over here. So ahead of me is the waterfront, and I see a pretty crazy traffic jam happening, which explains why I never like driving around New York City. Also across is Hudson River, and I can see Jersey City. So it's right here, and what I love about this is that it got a beautiful bike lane. So I'm really due for a video biking around this bike lane here, this bike path. And I think they're trying to connect the whole loop of Manhattan with pedestrian and bike paths, so that's gonna be really interesting. And this is what I'm talking about. See how they got the bike path over here? Pretty well developed, and a lot of people, they use it, they take advantage of it. And a lot of cities they need to take a sample of it. So it's all the way, I think it goes all the way to uptown, then it connects you all the way to downtown right here. And then over here you end up in the waterfront, the pedestrian area. You can see Jersey City like right across the river. But yeah, the weather is perfect, and this is really like a good vibe when you walk around here. So here I made it to the waterfront, and wow, really beautiful over here, really gorgeous. And this is part of Tribeca. You can see Lower Manhattan over there, the Freedom Tower, you know, Pier 26, and then this is all Jersey City over this way, Hoboken is over that way, and this is the beautiful Hudson River. But yeah, gotta tell you, the weather's just lovely today. Not hot, not cold, this is the way I like it. But yeah, just gonna do maybe a couple of blocks around here and then make it back into the neighborhood of Tribeca and wrap up the video. It's been a pretty awesome evening. Really happy to do this video for you guys. Then another cool thing about this waterfront, it's not just a waterfront. When you walk around, they got different types of piers like over here, and then they got like a playground. So there are stuff to do. It's not just walking around looking at the beautiful views of the city and the Hudson River. So that's why I say this city never ceases to amaze me. And I think this is new because I don't remember seeing this. This is probably one of the most modern playgrounds I've ever seen. If I would be a kid, I would not want to leave this playground. The way how they got the slides and stuff, you know, they're very creative. And then this is the bike lane. I'm really a huge fan of bike paths like this. Look how smooth it is. You can just ride around, and they got the beautify flowers and tulips over here to beautify the neighborhood. Then they got an urban. So, you know, really a huge fan of urban parks and urban planning. I'm making it back into the neighborhood, Tribeca. I'm probably gonna walk towards Lennard Street, close to some of the supermarkets. Then we're back again to Tribeca, and you can see how nice this plaza is over here, where people can just sit down. I was already showing you the other side. And I'm gonna walk all the way back towards the end, close to World Trade Center, and do my grand finale over there. So here we got like a little nice local park over here surrounded by the skyscrapers. And I gotta tell you, it's really beautiful what they do here, and the way how they preserve it with the tulips and the flowers, you know, because we're in the middle of spring season. A lot of vegetation and a lot of playground over here. I walk by the outside, but I never walk inside this park. So it's pretty nice to see what's going on over here. Gonna do a detour to see what's happening right here. Yeah, but it's pretty nice, open space here, you know, for people to do recreational activities, and they got restrooms too. But yeah, this is what the local park looks like. It's crazy how they make the magic, and you would not think you're surrounded by a lot of high-rise skyscrapers. But it's really cool. And then crazy, just like the parks in New Jersey, they got a gazebo over here, nice. I think it's the first gazebo I noticed in a park in New York City. I guess like a photographer over there taking wedding pictures and all of that, so that is really cool. You can see the open space in the apartment complex over here that's really tall. And this is Lennard Street, and I like this area a lot. Not only because they got the wide sidewalks, but the way how they got this beautiful buildings over here. Like I feel like it gives it like a nice, pleasant vibe in this beautiful neighborhood. It's been a really awesome evening exploring this lovely neighborhood of Tribeca. You know, it never ceases to amaze me. All the different type of neighborhood you can get all over New York City, Manhattan, Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, Staten Island. But yeah, you know, even North Jersey. But that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there. Everybody, God bless y'all. And peace.